Everyone, I'm Alfa Somani and I'm back with chapter number 2, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. So up till now, we have learned about the history of Shehnai, that was the pungi, an instrument which was recreated by whom? It was reinvented into Shehnai by a barber. Okay, so a barber reinvented an instrument named pungi into shehnai. And since it was played first in Shah's chambers, in the king's chambers, so that's why it was called Shah, and it was played by a nai, a barber, so that's why it was called shehnai. Okay. Also, what we learned that how shehnai was made popular by Bismillah Khan. Earlier, it was only played in weddings or in temples because it was considered auspicious. क्योंकि वो शुभ मानी जाती थी. That's why it was played in temples and in weddings. But later on, Bismillah Khan, what did he do? He made sure that shehnai becomes popular in the whole world. He made shehnai a part of the classical music, of Indian classical music. Also, we learned about the childhood of Bismillah Khan. He belonged to in the state of Dumrao in Bihar, and his father, his grandfather, they all belonged to a family of musicians. So Bismillah Khan belonged to a family of musicians. Now we will do the next part. Also, I have given you assignment, and only a few of the students have submitted their assignments on Scholar ERP. Most of you have not submitted. So please make sure that you submit your assignment on Scholar's ERP. Let's discuss the assignment. You can get your answers from here. I'll be discussing the questions which I've given you an assignment in the videos, and you can write down your answers from there. Okay. Question number 1. What do you know about history of shehnai? Okay. So what do you know about history of shehnai? Okay. Some children, what you have done, you have written the whole first paragraph in this answer. I've checked your assignments. Okay. So you have written the whole first paragraph in the answer. So that is not correct. The answer is in first paragraph only, that there was an instrument which was called pungi, and then a barber decided to recreate the instrument. And when he recreated it, it was named as shehnai because it was first played in the chambers of Shah, and it was played by a nai, a barber. So that's why the instrument was called shehnai. And how did he reinvent it? He put a reed, he put a pipe in with 7 holes into the pungi, and he recreated, and he started playing the pungi, the new instrument, by closing and opening the holes, and that's how shehnai was created. When an instrument called pungi, it was reinvented by a barber by putting a pipe with 7 holes in it, and since it was created by a barber, a nai, it was called shehnai. Okay, you don't have to explain the whole first paragraph in the answer. Okay, you have to pick what the answer is in this question. Question number 2. How did Bismillah Khan had an introduction with shehnai? So the family of Bismillah Khan, it belonged to they were very well-known musicians. His father, his grandfather, they were very great shehnai players. So also his maternal uncle, his mama, who was he? He was also a very great shehnai player. And when Bismillah Khan saw him playing shehnai, he decided to learn shehnai. Okay, because there were so many people in his family who were playing shehnai, who were masters of shehnai. So that's why he decided to play shehnai. That's why he decided to learn shehnai. Okay, we start with the chapter then. The young boy took to music early in life. Who's our young boy here? We are talking about Bismillah Khan. We're talking about the childhood of Bismillah Khan. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi. Age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi. Banaras is the old name of Varanasi. Bismillah Khan was fascinated watching his uncles practice the shehnai. So, what happened is, young age, his mother took him to his maternal uncles. Maternal uncles means mama, okay? And paternal uncles means chacha, okay? So, the mother of Bismillah Khan, what did she do? She took Bismillah Khan to his paternal uncle's house. And they were also shehnai players. They were also very great shehnai players. So when Bismillah Khan saw his uncles, जब Bismillah Khan ने अपने मामा को शहनाई बजाते हुए देखा, he was very much fascinated. He was very much impressed that how beautifully they were playing shehnai, and he decided to learn the instrument. Soon, Bismillah Khan started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baksh was employed to play the shehnai. Okay, so now he starts learning shehnai, and what also he started to do? He started going with his uncle Ali Baksh, where he started going with Uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Banaras. And there, in the Vishnu temple of Banaras, his uncle Ali Baksh, he was employed as a shehnai player. He used to play shehnai in the Vishnu temple of Banaras. Okay, so Bismillah Khan started going with him. He started accompanying him. Accompany means to go along with someone. Ali Baksh would play the shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. So there, in the Vishnu temple of Banaras, his uncle Ali Baksh, he used to play shehnai for long and long hours, and Bismillah Khan used to watch him playing shehnai, and he was captivated by it. He was fascinated by it. He was impressed by how beautifully his uncle Ali Baksh used to play shehnai. And he would listen to him for long and long hours just playing shehnai. Up till now, he has not started playing shehnai. He was just listening to it, that how beautifully this instrument is played. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. And now he starts learning this instrument because he is so much fascinated by this instrument. And slowly he starts learning this instrument. He starts getting lessons on this instrument. And he would sit practicing throughout the day. And he would work so hard on it that he would practice the day long. He would practice throughout the day. पूरे दिन वो practice करते थे. पूरे दिन वो shehnai के lessons लेते थे. And that's how he became the very famous Bismillah Khan. You just don't become a very famous shehnai player or very famous musician or the topper of the class just like that. You have to work hard for it, right? So Bismillah Khan also, he worked hard for it. He practiced throughout the day, and that's how he became famous. And that's how he got Bharat Ratna, because of his hard work, which he had put in learning the instrument. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangla Maiya and the banks of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. So now Bismillah Khan started learning shehnai, and for long and long hours, where he would sit in the temple of Balaji, in the temple of Mangla Maiya, and on the banks of Ganga. Ganga kinare baith ke, he used to play shehnai for long and long hours throughout the day and practice in solitude. और वहाँ शांति से he would practice. On the banks of Ganga, there was just him, his shehnai, and the voice of the flowing water of Ganga. Okay, there was no one there. बहुत शांति थी. There was so much peace that could just listen his shehnai there and the flowing waters of Ganga. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of shehnai. So earlier it was considered that shehnai, the ragas, some important ragas, some major rag जो होते हैं, they cannot be played on shehnai. Earlier it was considered. Rag means various types of music. Okay. So earlier it was considered that some rag, जो कुछ राग होते हैं, they cannot be played on shehnai. So what Bismillah Khan did, he practiced and practiced, and on the banks of Ganga, he invented how to play those ragas on shehnai. Okay, he decided and he practiced how to play these rags on shehnai. And what inspired him? The flowing waters of Ganga. इतनी जो peace थी वहाँ, इतनी जो शांति थी on the banks of Ganga, it inspired Bismillah Khan to make those ragas, to invent those ragas. At the age of 14, Bismillah Khan accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. Okay, so now he has learnt playing shehnai, and now he started going with his uncles, okay, to various music conferences. अलग-अलग जाके जगह पे वो he started playing the instrument. So once he accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, and there he played his shehnai. So at the end of his recital means when you recite a poem, for example, when you recite shehnai, when you recite a musical instrument, it is called recital. So जब उनका पूरी shehnai बजाना जो पूरा lesson था वो complete हुआ, at the end of his recital, whom did he meet? He met Ustad Fayaz Khan. And Ustad Fayaz Khan is also a very great musician. And what did he do? Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, work hard and you shall make it. Okay. So there, he was very much impressed. Ustad Fayaz Khan was very much impressed by Bismillah Khan's recital, by Bismillah Khan's way of playing shehnai, that he patted on his back. Patted on his back means शाबाशी देना किसी को. ठीक है. उस्ताद फयाज खान ने शाबाशी दी बिस्मिल्लाह खान को that you work hard and you will become a great person. What did he say? What did he tell Bismillah Khan? He tells him to work hard and you shall make it. Okay? You work hard and you shall make it. Make it to where? You shall make it to the destiny. You shall make it larger. सिर्फ अभी तुम यहीं पे recite कर रहे हो, but you work hard and you will make it to the greater stages. You will make it to the whole world. Okay, you will start playing in the whole world. So these words were like a magical words to Bismillah Khan. Okay, so these words sounded magical to Bismillah Khan, and he was so much inspired that he started practicing even harder. Okay, earlier also he was practicing too much, but now he started practicing even harder because Ustad Fayaz Khan, he patted and he inspired him to work harder. So Ustad Fayaz Khan's word, they felt him like a magic. Like these were very inspiring words for Ustad Bismillah Khan. Okay, what were his words? Work hard and you shall make it. He asked Bismillah Khan to work harder and he will become a great person and he will become a great shehnai player. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah Khan's big break. So when did Bismillah Khan's big break came? When in 1938, All India Radio is the music station. India's biggest music station is All India Radio. You might not have seen radios, but in earlier times, radio was the only source of entertainment. Today we have TVs, we have mobile phones, but in earlier times, radio was very popular and was the only source of entertainment for people. All of the Indians, all the other people, they used to listen to radio very frequently. जैसे आज हम टीवी देखते हैं ना जितना, people उस वक्त radio सुनते थे. And All India Radio was the biggest music channel of India, biggest radio channel of India. So when in 1938, All India Radio, it came to Lucknow and it became Bismillah Khan's big break. Okay. How did it become Bismillah Khan's big break? He soon became an often heard shehnai player on radio. So he used to play on All India Radio and all the people in India, they could listen to his shehnai. And he became one of the greatest shehnai player. He became very often heard. Often heard मतलब जिसे लोग बहुत सुनते थे. He became a very often heard shehnai player on radio. People used to listen to him very frequently. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his shehnai. Also, what happened when India gained independence on 14th August, on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his shehnai. When we got independence on 15th August, Bismillah Khan played his shehnai on the Red Fort. He was the first person, he was the first Indian to play shehnai from the Red Fort when we got independence. See how big this moment is for a musician, how big this moment is for a person that when India is getting independence, you are asked to perform, you are asked to play shehnai for the whole nation. This is such a great moment. So he was such a great personality. He was such a big personality who was asked to play on the Red Fort because India was getting independence. He was not a simple or a basic musical maestro. He was asked to play on Red Fort, so it makes him a huge personality. Okay. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay. From the Red Fort, what did he do? He played Rag Kafi. There are many ragas, as I told you. Rag is a type of music. So on Chennai, what did he play? Which rag did he play? He played Rag Kafi. Kafi is the name of a rag. Okay. So he played Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to whom? To all the Indians who were gaining independence. See, 15th August 1947 was a great deal. It was a great day for all of the Indians because they were getting independence. They were getting independence from the rules of Britishers. So on that day, Bismillah Khan played shehnai for all the Indians for the happiness because they were getting independence. And who was the audience? The Indians were the audience. All the Indian people, the citizens of Indians were the audience. They were listening to him on radio, on television. And also Jawaharlal Nehru was also there, who was listening and to his shehnai, who later gave his famous speech, Tryst with Destiny. And Jawaharlal Nehru, on 15th August 1947, he gave his very famous speech. Its name is Tryst with Destiny. So this speech, Tryst with Destiny, is very famous because it was given by our first Prime Minister, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, to the Indians who were getting independence. It's considered one of the greatest speeches of the 20th century. पूरे सेंचुरी की सबसे ग्रेटेस्ट स्पीचेस में एक मानी जाती है ये जवाहरलाल नेहरू की स्पीच ट्रिस्ट विद डेस्टिनी. Tryst with destiny means having a deal with destiny. Okay. So according to him, according to Jawaharlal Nehru, freedom was the deal. Freedom was meant for Indians and now we are having it. Okay. So freedom was written in the destiny, in the future of Indians. Okay. Earlier we were in the rules of Britishers and freedom was written in the destiny, in the future of Indians. मतलब फ्रीडम जो है, स्वतंत्रता जो है, वो इंडियंस के भाग्य में लिखी गई थी और अब हम उसे पा रहे हैं. Tryst with destiny means that. And this is a very famous line from the speech. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. He gave this speech on 15th August, on the evening when India was getting independence. So he said, at the stroke of midnight, जब रात को 12 बजे पूरी दुनिया जब सो रही होगी, when the whole world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. तब इंडिया जागेगा किसके लिए? For its freedom, because India will be getting freedom, so the whole India will awake. When the whole world will be sleeping at midnight, India will awake to freedom, because India will be getting a new freedom, a newly achieved freedom. You can just search this speech on YouTube or wherever you want. This is a very famous speech and you should know about it. Okay, so Trust with Destiny speech, it was given by Jawaharlal Nehru, and at that time only, on that huge day, on that huge moment, Shehnai was also played by Bismillah Khan on the Red Fort. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. So he has given so many memorable performances in India as well as in other nations. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahid Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. So, his first trip abroad, his first trip to some other country apart from India was where? To Afghanistan, where the king, Zahir Shah, he was so impressed by his performance, where the king was so taken aback by his performance that he gave him prizes, which were Persian carpets and other souvenirs. So earlier, that kid who used to get big laddu, sawa kilo ka laddu as a prize, now he got Bharat Ratna, now he got prizes from Afghanistan king, the king of Afghanistan. Okay, so that's how you grow. You grow in small steps. Earlier, you were just getting a laddu, and now you were getting major and major prizes, the bigger and bigger prizes. The king of Afghanistan was not only one to be fascinated with Bismillah Khan music. So the king of Afghanistan, he was not the only person who was fascinated, who was impressed by Bismillah Khan's music, but there were other people as well. Who were those other people? Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah Khan play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Goon Juti Shehnai. So a director whose name was Vijay Bhatt, he was so impressed by Bismillah Khan playing Shehnai that he decided to make a film on it. See how large this is. If someone makes a picture on you, if someone makes a film on you, that's very great, right? So Bismillah Khan के ऊपर भी एक पिक्चर बनी थी उनकी शहनाई के ऊपर, and it was named as गूंज उठी शहनाई. The film was a hit. It was a very hit picture, and one of the Bismillah Khan's compositions, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. It was a song. It was a song on which Bismillah Khan played शहनाई. Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster, और ये एकदम hit song हो गया उस वक्त का. Chartbuster means blockbuster, hit song, एकदम hit होना जिसे हम कहते हैं. So this song became a hit song. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world means film world. Okay, so despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's ventures in film music were limited to two. So although he had such a huge film, such a great picture, such a great song, such a hit song, but despite of that, Bismillah Khan did not do much in the film world. उन्होंने film world में बहुत ज़्यादा काम नहीं किया. Why? Let's see. There were only two more films which were made on him, and those films were Vijay Bhatt's Goon Juti Shehnai, which we know, and Vikram Shrivastava's Kannada venture Sanadi Apanna. So only two films were made on his life, on his Shehnai, including his Shehnai, and that was Goon Juti Shehnai and a Kannada picture Sanadi Apanna. I just can't come to terms with artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis. So Bismillah Khan बहुत emphasis के साथ कहते हैं. Emphasis मतलब strongly कहते हैं, जोर लगा के कहते हैं कि I can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world. That the glamour and the artificiality of the film world, it doesn't suit me. Okay, I'm a very simple person. I'm a very natural person. He doesn't like the जो चकाचौंध है, जो चमक दमक है film world की, वो उन्हें नहीं पसंद. Okay, Bismillah Khan says that. Okay, so that's all for today's chapter, and we will be doing the next part in the next lecture, and you have to complete these two questions as your assignment, and you have to submit it on Scholars ERP, You have to submit it as soon as possible. As soon as you get your assignment, you start doing that assignment. We will discuss these questions in the next lecture. Till then, you complete this assignment and submit it on Scholars ERP. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you so much.